Yeah. Second? Second. Yeah. We'll call the Public Safety and Public Works Committee to order. Yeah, we got a quorum. So the first order of business today will be approve the agenda as presented.
Make that motion.
Madam Clerk, motion made by Supervisor Luke and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Approval of minutes for the July 5th as presented. I had a copy at home. I read them all over.
Make a motion, we approve them. I read them.
Okay. Motion for approval.
Second.
And seconded. Any discussions on the last presented? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 4, that's up to the chief over there. Any public comments?
Yes.
You girls are public comments. Okay, introduce yourself and the floor is yours.
My name is Nancy Snoffer and I live on Vincent Lake Lane, and I'd like to read a statement. I do have copies for the committee members and one.
Yeah, you want to present the copy.
You want to?
Madam Clerk, do we have any other guests that you need?
There's.
One, two, three, and one for you. And Sheriff. Couple of them. Couple of them. You can proceed.
This is to the Public Safety Committee. We want to bring a safety concern petition to your attention. In September of 2021, residents of Vincent Lake Lane received notice that their addresses were being changed. A generic version of the letter is included for your convenience. The 1.5 mile Vincent Lake Lane was divided into 99th Street, 98th Street, and 230th Avenue as shown on the included map. The letter states that signs would be provided and installed at no expense to your residents. It also states that emergency services would no longer recognize Vincent Lake Lane after March of 2022, 6 months. Section 7.2 of the Polk County Uniform Rural Addressing and Road Numbering Ordinance provides the Safety and Highway Committee the authority to review requests for exceptions to road name changes that do not aid emergency services. Residents of Vincent Lake Lane are petitioning to reinstate the road name, as the road name change hinders emergency services because challenging roadside placement. Road signs are typically placed parallel to the road so that road names can be seen as you approach an intersection. The 99th, 98th Street transition occurs along a relatively straight portion of road and at no intersection. This makes it challenging to install road signs that can be read from any direction by emergency services vehicles. Road arrangement is non-typical. Polk County road naming conventions designate north-south roads as street and east-west roads as avenues. Streets are typically divided by avenues. The road names named 98th, 99th, and 100th Street are all connected to each other without any avenues or other roads between them. This non-typical road arrangement can be very confusing. The east-west road designation was changed. Vincent Lake Lane was designated as an east-west road by the County Addressing Authority in the 1980s, as denoted by the address numbers in the 9XX range. The new name redesignates predominantly east-west road as a north-south street. This is confusing to emergency service personnel who are familiar with the east-west avenue and north-south street naming system in the county. The road name is not recognized by the state of Wisconsin online voter registration. In April of this year, 2022, one resident tried to electronically register to vote, but was denied as the state of Wisconsin did not recognize their address on 99th Street as legitimate. The individual was allowed to register in person and thus vote. But this is a potential problem for other people being denied the right to vote. Street signs have not been installed. The address numbering ordinance states that road signs will be installed by the county. 10 months after residents were informed of the change, no new street signs have been installed. Roads are difficult to find if they are not labeled. The issue is compounded for emergency services as existing street sign names are not recognized by E911 dispatch. Fire/address signs have not been installed. Again, 10 months after residents were informed of the address change, no fire or address signs have been installed. Addresses are difficult for emergency first services to find in the field if they are labeled differently than what E911 dispatch service recognizes. Navigation systems do not recognize the revised street names. A Vincent Lake Lane resident was informed that online mapping services would be notified of the address changes. Most online mapping services continue to label the road as Vincent Lake Lane. Some residents have had problems receiving packages as these revised addresses do not exist in delivery company systems. This can be life-threatening to individuals who order prescriptions by mail. Many emergency services drivers use navigation systems to assist in locating addresses. Navigation systems that do not recognize these street names could delay emergency services. But navigation systems that do recognize these street names could confuse emergency services field personnel as signs do not match where they are being directed. Both scenarios could delay emergency services for residents. Vincent Lake Lane residents are very concerned that in the event of an emergency, we will be very challenging to find. The E911 system will only recognize 98th Street, 99th Street, and 230th Avenue. But all signs and most mapping applications and navigation systems such as Google Maps, MapQuest, Bing Maps, Garmin GPS reflect the Vincent Lake name. Lack of updated signs and use of navigation systems may prevent emergency service workers from locating these E911 addresses in the field. Services who use plat books to locate addresses may not buy new plat books every 3 years as they are updated. It is very challenging to anticipate all of the things used by different emergency services providers that need to be updated. Changing the road name is a long-term issue for residents that has not been addressed. Residents and local emergency services personnel know the location landmark of Vincent Lake and therefore Vincent Lake Lane. Changing the street name causes confusion and potential loss of significant time and possibly life in case of an emergency. Vincent Lake Lane residents petitioned the street name be changed in the E911 system back to reflect existing signs. Contact with the addressing authority has produced no results. Residents have had to deal with being unsure of what address to use for over 10 months. The confusion caused by the change is a safety concern for resident and emergency services. Please address this safety issue petition to reinstate the road name of Vincent Lake Lane. Thank you, the residents of Vincent Lake Lane, and you have a copy of signatures of the year-round residents of Vincent Lake Lane. I would also like to provide an update since this July 25th date of this petition. A copy of this letter was provided to the Land Information Department via the County Board Supervisor who represents the Vincent Lake area. Zoning staff since then has called me, and as far as I know of, one other Vincent Lake resident who happens to be an officer of the association, and told us that they did not realize it until we raised these safety issues, that the signs were never ordered.
Well, I want to thank you as a committee. I want to I want to thank you for bringing this to our attention. We've been down this road before a few years ago, and we'll certainly find out, we'll get to the bottom of this, that everything is, our safety is the main issue. And that's got to be addressed first. I can't believe that, or at least hard to believe that that these people called in, came to vote. Their name was taken off.
Mr. Chair,
We'll have this on the agenda for next month.
I did speak to Steve on this and it will be on the agenda. It's on the agenda for next month. I did speak to Steve. It will be on the agenda for next month.
As long as, would you be able to speak on this, Mr. Cheese? Does this go through your department, these changes? As long as you're here, I want to ask your comments on this.
I really think you should put it on a future agenda, so this is not noticed here.
As long as we're under public comments, we can. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for bringing it to our attention then, and try and gather more information. It will be on the agenda for next month. I think they've already requested that. So.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on under public comments. Is there anybody else under public comment? You gentlemen just want to. Sheriff, under you're going to be speaking later. Okay, moving on, number 5. I don't see any conflict there. Do you, Madam?
I don't, but I don't know the mechanism by which, but I know that Don Wortham wants to be able to speak. The new general government.
Yes,
manager.
yes.
Um,
Where would he fit in on the?
Probably
agenda?
with, he and I will tag team on the administrator's report.
Okay, yeah, I think that would be a good fit. So next one would be number 6, update from Administrator Netherlands.
So
Is
he's,
he here or somebody pinch hitting for him?
Don is on his way over here.
oh, Don is on his way over here.
So we can move on from number 6. Here's.
Oh, there he is.
How can you be in 2 places at the same?
Okay, Don, we got you front and center. You have the floor. We're on number 6 then. Update from Administrator Netherland, and you're going to fill in there, correct?
Thank you, Chair Bonaprise. I've got a few things to report and then a request of the committee.
Go ahead.
So I'm now 3 days or 2.5 days officially into the job, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve Polk County in the capacity of General Government Director.
Glad to have you.
We are in the budget cycle, as you all are aware, and I think we're moving now back on schedule. We had drifted off schedule a little bit just because of some changes, but as of today, we'll have all of the various departments' fee schedules in hand so that we can have these in front of general government on Monday of next week and the full board at its monthly meeting. I have the sheriff's and Mo's fees in my grubby little hands, and this is my request to the board. I was not aware that these were to be in your packet, and I apologize for that, but I can bring them over. It'll just take me a few minutes after I pop off the video to get those printed out and bring them over, if that would
Sure,
serve
that'll
the
work.
purpose of the board. Okay. So that's my very brief report with respect to budget issues. I feel like the budget is moving forward And we'll have reports monthly as we make progress on it. But as of today, we're in good shape on the fees, and I will bring those over for your consideration.
Is that it for now, Don?
Yes, sir, unless there's questions.
Any questions?
The fees that I have listed in here are not, what are they here for? In my packet. This fee schedule.
That's the sheriff's department one?
Okay, it's the law enforcement up there in the small print. Okay. See you
Right.
later.
And I'd be happy to bring over Public Works fee schedules as well, if those aren't in the packet. That's what I'm offering to do. Be happy to do that.
Anything you want to bring up, Don, will fit in on our,
That sounds great. I'll get working on that. Thank you.
okay, then number 7, update from Highway Commissioner Norby. A, B, and whatever. See, we get home, get a chance to take home some paperwork.
Oh, geez.
I feel a lot.
Did someone vote that up for me?
Flash drive.
Yeah, it should
I
be in
have
there.
them pulled up already, so you just have to screen share them.
Update or mobile center, which one do you do?
The Polk Works update. Good afternoon. My name is Mo Norby. I'm the Public Works Director of Polk County. Just an update on what's going on in Public Works and Highways. Next slide, Don. Right now, the federal and state projects, I've signed the state maintenance agreements for County Road F. That's from 65 to View Lane. STP bridges for Lorraine on 30th Street, 357th Street, 30th Street in Clear Lake, County Road H and County Road W. As soon as I get the state signature on those, I'll be coming back to the committee. I'll be going out for RFQs, and I'll bring those RFQs back to you guys for the rating system like we do on all our federal projects. I did secure the SMAs for our local road improvement projects. The supplement money was $393,369. That'll be used on Double J, and a county discretionary project of $350,000 for County Road P from County Road A to 63. So that's in progress right now. The US Highway 63 project, that's on hold right now for 2 months due to heat weather and the cold in place recycling has not gone very well for them. So they're waiting 2 months to start back in September now on pavement on that one. So they switched over. We're milling on 46 south of Amory and paving that one. Our chip sealing projects right now have been completed on F, P, OK, and C. And we also did chip sealing for the town of Alden, Balsam Lake, Village of Balsam Lake, and the town of St. Croix. And this week we chip sealed from Luck to Milltown. Other projects happening right now, the bridge on 270th up in McKinley. That is a start date for replacement now, August 22nd. The Sterling ATV loop, we're waiting on signs. They're supposed to be here this Thursday. So once those signs are in and installed, we can open up that loop. Summers Lake on the park side, trail side, we're working on opening those, clearing those trails a little bit more and having some gravel up there. The bell tower RFP for the ARPA money, that is out right now for a couple contractors waiting on bids for that one to come in. The DD Kennedy bathroom RFP, we had no response, so we went out to contractors to get some individual quotes for that one. So we'll wait to see where that comes in at. The Justice Center roof RFP, we have not released that one yet. We are still compiling our information before we release that one for bidding that one. And on the Sawmill Trail, ATV trail down there in Clear Lake, that RFP is out for regraveling and clearing of trees on that one. Next slide. Clam Falls Dam. Clam Falls Dam, This is the latest drawing, preliminary drawing of what will replace the Clam Falls Dam with. The labyrinth design. It's got some very good points on it. They're working right now with the hydrology for the 500-year storm. This is a low maintenance dam, whereas we don't have to open and close gates to keep water flowing unless we go into drought conditions. This would be, right here would be the bypass channel. During construction, they coffer dam this off. Sorry. With that, once it's completed, this side of that piling would stay in place as a cutoff for the dam that go forward. Next slide. This is kind of what it would look like in a rendering. As you look from the dam, you notice the old dam's on the north side of the road. The new dam will be on the south side of the road. Next slide. Preliminary high-level estimates for the project right now is at $3.1 million. Again, we do have the grant for $2 million that the state set aside for us. And we also have a matching grant for anything above that. It would be covered 50-50. So right now it is trending higher than we anticipated. But we'll wait to see as we get more into design how that changes. Next slide. Some of our paving projects, got you some pictures here. County Road F out of Amory there is finished. We have one follow-up item here at the intersection of C and F on the south side there. They put that stop bar in the wrong spot. So that's got to be moved 9 feet closer to the travel way. County Road Double P was completed also. Next slide. Don, if you hover over the left one. This is a chip seal process. Those of you who don't know, spray oil on the road, it goes down. Just like that. Then if you hover on the next one, Don. It'll come by with a chip spreader, they rock on top of it, get it in the rollers and the trucks. That's processed. It's another 10 years of life on that highway. Next slide. And then the finished product looks like this. We'll sweep this end of this week, and we'll get the stripes back on the highways on those. Next slide. This is D.D. Kennedy parking lot. We paved the upper parking lot. Right now the crew's getting ready. This is where the new playground equipment goes on the right-hand side of the picture there. So that's paved and striped. Next slide. Woodley Dam parking lot. This is on County Road H by the motel there. We got the start of the berm in there. From the berm this way, this all comes out to Highway 8. That will be removed and ditch put in there. The fence now goes on the left side of the berm and around so that traffic from this parking lot will back into our fence. So we kind of moved that so we don't have any fence damage on that. But as soon as the fence goes in, we'll start on that side of the parking lot and that project. The Milltown parking lot up on the Gandy Trail, that is complete now for winter snowmobile parking or summer use for bicyclists. That was one of the PTAC projects. They're out there, so that is completed already. Next slide. Lake Magner boat landing, that got a new concrete ramp this year. I was able to have enough funds to pave that parking lot to come in there so they don't have an issue coming out on US Highway 63. Next slide. Government Center update. Here's some slides of what the Government Center update is kind of looking at. This is looking at the new reception area when you come into the building, where a receptionist will be with people. Next slide. The clerk service window is right here with the tile, the carpets down. Just on the right-hand side is one of the main level bathrooms. The tile is in, the fixtures and the toilet partitions are going in today. That should be ready by next week on the main floor. Is our goal to have that one ready to go. Next slide. Down on the lower level, ground level where Land and Water is moving in. This is some of the new offices we created. This is their testing lab that we went in there with 2 deep sinks for them. And that was an old file room before. Government Center update, we still are, this week we moved offices down into the ground floor. Land and Water went down there, the surveyor. Extension went down there. The main move is going to be August 15th, moving into the main floor. That's when we switch the parking lots and the public entrance back to the main entrance on the south side. The east side where the public goes and now will be cut off to both employees and the public due to construction down there. We still are waiting on temp doors. Lighting control panels are out till September. Our main transfer switches, they're early March still. Main electrical gear is February, possibly January, late one on that one. The chillers are expected in mid-March of 23. The coiling doors are middle of August. So those service windows that are in there, they're security doors that go behind the glass, that they can shut those down. They're fire rated doors. Something happens. Next slide. And that's it for my update. Give you an idea what's going on right now in public works.
Did you take all the pictures?
Yes, sir.
Done a good job. Any questions?
Just comment on Highway O. I just live off,
Yeah.
1/4 mile off the side of O, head out 48. And I don't know if anybody really likes the chip seal when you first put it on, but it's really a nice project. It's really, it made that road really, it's nice. Thanks.
Okay, anybody else? Hearing none, done a good job.
Thanks.
Moving ahead very well. While you're up there, Mo, do you want to say anything about Mark Nelson? I talked to Roxanne this morning.
Sure.
The funeral is Friday.
Friday, the first is from 11 or 10 to 12 is the
12 is the service.
services. 10 to 12 is the visitation up front. It's in Dresser at the
East Lutheran.
East Lutheran there on the west side there, right across from Pepsi.
12 o'clock noon on Friday. How many years was Mark with our department?
It's about 22 or 20. Started November of 02. That's way July 19th.
Gonna put and hire another person.
Yeah, we have 3 openings right now in highway as operators, and we have one of our foremen has taken a job with the railroad in Bayfield. His dream was to move up to his cabin in Bayfield, and the position came open, so he couldn't pass up the opportunity. So Kevin Jensen, his last day is this Thursday right now, so we'll have some changes at highway.
So you actually need 3 full-time people?
Yes,
You got RFPs out?
we have, they're out right now. We have for the 3 positions, I think we have 4 applications right now with that. And then Ben Elfwell, Ben left Parks Trails Coordinator. He went to Chisago County. So that position is open right now in Parks.
Will that be the 4th one?
That's a 4th one.
Wow.
So we'll have to backfill that position also. So I get with HR and Don on those moves right there. And then looking at the recycling center for FPs there also.
Well, I guess we'll all have to help you do some recruiting. It's very hard. It's very, very hard.
It is. It's a struggle. I mean, when you have 3 positions open and you have 4 applications, it makes it very hard. And even if you hire one, go back out, you're lucky to get 2 or 3 more applications.
Well, thanks again and wish you luck.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Don, we can go back to number 6 of the.
think-
Here comes other number 12.
Yeah, number 12, so you can just keep going down the line.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. All right, update from Sheriff Watt. Another handout. Awesome.
I don't have the tech savvy that Mo Norby has there, so I gotta go the old way with some photos, but we'll do that.
Well, we'll let you two take that up.
I'll just share with you some of our good news, which this photo was taken last week. We received a $25,000 donation from the St. Croix Tribal Council. And pictured there, left to right, we have Chief of Police Frank Taylor. Then we have Rick Benjamin, he's the Danbury rep. Michelle Alo, who's the housing authority with the tribe. And we have the Sand Lake rep, William Reynolds. Then we have Georgia Cobanese, she's the Round Lake representative. And obviously there's me, our canine, and then Thomas Fowler, who's the Maple Plain rep. Anyway, the important thing is we're making good progress here. We have a good relationship with the tribal council as well as the St. Croix Tribal Police. And they were nice enough to give us a $25,000 donation. And there's really no strings attached with that money, and we're going to try to find a very something that'll benefit all of us with that money. So anyway, we're excited about that. There's a press release coming out in the paper this week. They typed a press release. It's quite lengthy, so look to that in the paper. That's very exciting. We've done really well this year with donations. We've had a lot of. It's a good position to be in when people want to give you money. That's very promising. We just finished the Polk County Fair this past weekend, and very pleased to announce no real issues on the law enforcement spectrum at the fair. It's a great event. My staff, who are working short, a lot of people came out and still worked our booth at the fair, so I'm very appreciative of the staff. That Don was there, Jill was there, and numerous others. So, and it's a good event for us. You know, I really wish I could get my younger staff to embrace this type of opportunity, but they don't seem to do that. It's a lot of us gray-haired cops that like to go work the fair. And it is a good opportunity to see the good side of our citizens, and everyone's having a nice time. Somebody did interrupt our tractor pull, though. I see some county board members went down the tractor.
That was in Arizona, wasn't me.
They never recorded the time either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was your time there? If you came in today, you see some things in our parking lot. We are gearing up tonight for National Night Out, and I would encourage all of you to attend our event if you can. It's at 5 p.m. And this is really a nice night for us to further relationships in our communities. We have a lot of kids at this event. We cook hot dogs, we have games, have a lot of community partners that join us in this event. Balsam Lake Fire, Polk County Human Services. We just have it's just really a good event. So if you
Right
get a
out here in
chance,
the parking lot.
right out here, yeah, and we'll serve you a hot dog if you come on over. I think I picked up
Encourage everybody.
300 hot dogs this morning. So other than that, we did assist this weekend in the arrest of the person who's accused of stabbing all the people in the Apple River. We were requested mutual aid, and our deputies did respond down there. And in fact, it was one of our deputies who collared the suspect. So it's kind of a all hands on deck when something like that happens, and sheriffs help other sheriffs. So it's our privilege to go help St. Croix County in that. And that's a lot of work. I mean, I don't think the average person understands what goes into, but what goes into an operation like that. Now piecing that thing together, it's hundreds and hundreds of hours of work. So nice to be a part of that. Other than that, I'd take some questions. You guys have any questions?
We certainly need to congratulate you on assisting, working with neighbors and other units. That's extremely important, and there you saw the results. I was in Arizona yesterday, and I watched the whole proceedings on his hearing yesterday live. Boy, that is something.
Yep. Sad time for their community to have an event like that happen. So
That is holding them on $1 million bail.
Yep.
And an attorney that wanted to get him out. Shackled, so he could go back to work. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Any other questions for Sheriff Watt?
How's your manpower efforts going?
it's very similar to Mr. Norby. In fact, I had the pleasure of talking to a few retirees, actually some from the highway department and some from my agency who worked back in the 90s. And when I tell them that we get 2-3 applicants, they're stunned by that, because in their time of working at highway or sheriff's office, you competed with hundreds often to get that one job. So the retirees are always kind of fun to talk with, because they don't understand the dire straits all of us are in right now. We are struggling, and when someone leaves, we don't plug somebody in a day. It's months of training, the cost and the stress on the ones that are working, because now they have to be trainers. That's an added stress for them. It is just difficult to maintain the staff levels of all our divisions is the most challenging thing we face right now. So, we used the fair as an opportunity. We played our recruiting videos on a TV in our booth, and I think we had good, good opportunities for recruitment at an event like that. So we're optimistic. We're going to keep trying new things. And, we did a career fair early in the year up at the fairgrounds where they bring all the high school kids through from about 10 different school districts. So we're grasping, but it's the nature of the workforce we have right now. There's just a lack of people interested.
You didn't hear anything on the photo.
I didn't, but I gotta believe it's a record attendance for the fair. I mean, it was busy every day. Yeah.
Bill, you're the main person in our public safety. Did you have anything to add on anything today?
Anybody interested in being a dispatcher?
Yeah, we should have brought some applications. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Don, did you have anything else? You're all done?
Well, we have number 12, and I've got the Public Works
So that'll.
fee schedule,
that'll
right? I think the sheriffs are already in the packet.
Okay. Update from Supervisor Rowley regarding our ATV, and you've got a couple of your good people from the committee here. So we'll turn it over to you.
Okay, just a quick follow-up from Mr. Norby, that out in Sterling at the campsites, they're looking at some new tables and fire rings. And there are 4 campsites, and they're going to have these in between where the trailers go. There's a center area, and they're making an attempt to grow some grass, but it isn't so easy out there. But then they're gonna put in a new light by the, it sounds like between the entry and the restroom. And also on that pole will be 1020 amp circuit, so that later they'll have that ready to bury in some pedestals for campers or whatever comes up in the future.
Good
And
vision.
then the clubs are still working up in the Clam Falls Indian Creek area. And I think that's just gonna be a real slow project to get that approved and mitigate the wetlands. But still in the works, and
Gotta be done.
it's there. And then as usual, I really would like to thank the clubs and the Polk County UTV Council for all the work they do. And a couple of fellows are right here. And when the signs come in, you're hoping to have 240 signs,
174.
274
Let's
signs.
introduce you gentlemen from your committee here.
This is Melvin Smith, Doug Johnson, and they both are on the
Yeah,
ad hoc committee.
thanks for attending. We're pretty regular. We appreciate
They're hoping that possibly in a week it'll take you to put all the signs up, but maybe not get them all.
Depends if Rick is around or if he goes on a trip.
Just a lot of work. These
It is.
guys are out there and eating bugs and doing this project. Get it there. The county's been out there helping, and I mean, it's just a coordinated effort for everyone.
that.
And it's
Thanks for your
wonderful.
cooperation.
That's about it, I guess.
Any questions
or-
for
Well, might have
anybody
answers
on
to.
that committee? Okay, hearing done, we'll move on to number 10, CJCC.
So I don't have a whole lot to update people. We did have, our diversion case manager gave some notice in June, so we had some time. So we did have an applicant that we offered the job to. We're just waiting on background checks. And then we're hoping for at least a 2-week overlap with that case manager to train in the new case manager.
You'll be the supervisor of that.
No, I control like the budget part, but then the diversion case manager is still under the district attorney's office.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So we're kind of in the same unit, but
Yeah.
different supervisors. So treatment court, in July, we had 13 active participants. We had 2 new participants in July. We have 2 referrals and we had 2 graduations on Friday. So then now we'll be back down to 11 participants.
Did you have a pretty good attendance at the graduation Friday?
Yes, yeah, we did.
I wanted to be there, but I was out of state.
Well, we'll try to catch you for the next one.
Sure.
The first time offender program, we had 2 active participants, 5 referrals, 2 graduations, and 2 terminations. The intoxicated driver intervention program, there are 11 active participants, 2 referrals, and no graduations or terminations in July. And that program is actually at 110% capacity. We've been getting a lot of referrals for OWI second and thirds. Substance diversion, we didn't have any participants in July, but we do have 2 referrals, and those individuals look like they'll start the end of August. And then other than that, right now it's just working on the pre-application for the TAD grant that we get to fund our treatment court and diversion case managers.
That's your report. Very good. Is there any active Alamo buildings, clubs in that, in our county that keep in touch with everything?
Yeah, so I don't have the list for all of that, but I know every community in Polk County pretty much has several AA or NA groups that people can attend.
Always seems to be a success.
Mhm. Yeah, and as part of treatment court, they have to have at least 3 meetings a week that they're going to.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Review ARPA funds and public safety funds. Who's, back to you, Dr. Wall.
Yes. Build another tree.
Keep them coming.
Vince asked me to look at a couple projects on the ARPA funding. And one of them is the command center for EMS that both Don Burrows and Tanya have done all the legwork on looking at that and putting things together. Vince asked me to look at it and just see options and stuff, but kind of compiled some stuff here. Next slide. Command center. You know, you don't know when an emergency is going to happen, but we can plan to be prepared. You know, it's used for emergency management. Issues with the current vehicle we have now, naturally the age. Generator repairs, I mean, we're looking at $22,000 for a generator repair. The slide out is not aligned anymore. That needs work. Trying to find someone to work on this stuff is not very easy anymore. It's worn out. You know, the uses for a new one, emergency situations, mobile clinics, missing persons, natural disasters, civil unrest, emergency and crime scenes, clinics, outreach, large events like the fair, Wings and Wheels, wherever emergency management need to coordinate for safety. The sheriff just mentioned one, stabbing in Apple River. I mean, you never know when this is going to happen, but you need the resources there to go there to use a command center. The Sheriff's Department Community Service looked at this. They got together and how it can be used for in the past, missing persons as a backup for 911 if dispatch goes down. How can we utilize these services? I mean, we've used it. Over 10,000 shots given in the command post for the max vaccination drive-throughs. 85 mobile clinics provided for the summer of 21 at Menards and Wayne's Food, Our Lady of the Lakes Church. The past 12 weeks, we've been using it for COVID testing at the government center. This is a unique vehicle in the industry of emergency management. It's not one size fits all. It depends on how you want to use it. You hear a lot of scuttlebutt as people talk to, you just get a trailer and put the trailer here and use it. Well, it depends what you want to use it for. And they've worked very hard on coming together and seeing how many uses we can have in this vehicle. I looked at the pros and cons of used versus new vehicles. A lot of the used vehicles that are on the market now are pre 9/11 when that happened. And they are just conversion vans, not these commercial type vehicles that are built for the long haul and built for more durable surfaces. A single unit versus a tow behind. Actually, with a tow behind vehicle, you need another vehicle to tow it. You know, the comment was made, the highway has a lot of 1-tons to tow it. All our 1-tons are always working. So we don't have spare vehicles sitting around just waiting for something to happen. Update the current unit to fit our needs. Our unit is worn out. It really cannot be updated at this point in time. with the slide out and everything, we need major repairs. It's not feasible. Don has been very good about going out and getting quotes on this unit to see where we are to get a current price listing. It has 3 increases since 2021. It started out at $425 on June 17th of this year, $725,999 to have this vehicle built. You know, so time is of the essence as things get more expensive. Next slide. This is the configuration that Don and Tanya came up with. I'll go to the middle picture here as kind of a conference room area. The back here would be 911 dispatch, if that should happen. This is a fold down area that can be used as the mobile clinic, as people would come in the front of the vehicle, migrate through. This is where they give the shots or do the medical stuff on that person, then they exit the vehicle out the other side. These surfaces in here are not, you know, these units here aren't fiberglass. They're all aluminum. There's no plastic on these things. They're meant for a lot of traffic, heavy traffic goes through these things. That's why typically you won't see, when you convert just a normal RV to this type of stuff and you put a lot of people going through it, it wears out fast. If any of you have a motorhome and realize that. Next slide. Unique items for this unit, it has a external communication board. So if you have functions where you're doing EMS and you have a group of people out there, you get information to a large group outside for information, keep updating them. Extendable mast arms for camera and spotlights for search and rescue to light it up very nicely. 2-door access for bringing patients through safely, so you're not having in one door and have to go out the same door. Will be set up for dispatch as our center, if our center goes down. Electronics are very expensive in these units, but that is a huge asset. If 911 goes down, something happens to this building, we have the ability to do that. If you just got a simple trailer unit, you would not have that ability. Just gives us one more plan in case something happens. Next slide. New commercial used remodel RV again. A commercial frame versus a light duty frame. All aluminum commercial, no fiberglass. Frame life, well over 20 years on these things. Most of these units get refurbished after 10, 15 years, mainly it's the electronics that go bad on them. Because the unit itself doesn't usually get a lot of miles on it. This would be a diesel unit, so long life on it. Wear life of inside out, inside with heavy traffic. Again, when you're doing mobile clinics and having a lot of people through these units, things wear out if you go, this is standard RV. So you need those durable surfaces to do this. Looking at the long-term needs of the county, it can be updated in 10 to 15 years. Good investment. Safety, used for medical, you need durable finishes. You know, you need your stainless steel so they can be wiped down and be sanitary and all those items. And our current unit is basically just worn out. Next slide. That's all I got on the command center right now. The next ARPA one was the shooting range. The shooting range, we've looked at many different estimates in that, and it looks like it's going to be around $1 million to $1.1 million to finish it. But I want the sheriff wants to comment on this one. I think we're going to pull this one.
Yeah, I'm not interested in spending that much to complete the range, so I would just ask to take that off the table. We have other options. We can find an outdoor spot.
And with the existing space in the Justice Center, we can utilize that for other uses.
Are you able to use it for any kind of training at all, like any of the rod and gun clubs? Also make it a pretty nice house to look at.
Right. We that's what we currently do now. We use the different various gun clubs, but there are some hurdles with that. I'm going to look at getting a spot where we can shoot, where it's not open to the public. It would be more of a private thing for us.
Just one more thing, Don. I know, getting back to the command center, I know that you visited LDV in Wisconsin. You got some comments? I know you're.
Yeah, so the place we looked at, and this is the blueprint we have here, LDV, they manufacture these things from the ground up. They basically take a rolling chassis, build the box, put everything in it. So the nice thing about that is in 10, 15 years, let's say we need to revamp it, need to do something different configuration. They do that all there. It's all aluminum. They can take a wall out, put a wall right back in. It's very unique and I highly recommend if you need, if board members wanted to see the process, to take a tour like we did. It really opened my eyes up to what that company can do. It was really neat. And they
That's
are.
what we need to do is open our eyes, and we appreciate the coordination.
Well, the one we do have is wore out. I mean, the slide out this morning, when I put it out, a big chunk of the slide out fell off already. And then at the fair, I noticed some water damage in the back of the thing. I had to go up there this morning. I sealed up some of the seams, so we won't get more water damage. There is a lot of issues that we need to get addressed with this. And we're still, if we order it today, we're still looking, 12 months or so to get a new one. So we still have to put some money into this thing, but it's a Band-Aid. Ideally, we need to do something.
So things are getting pretty critical as far as timeline.
And it's set up outside. You guys are more than welcome to take a walk through it and look at it. I can point all this stuff to you.
We had it down at the fairground.
Yeah, down
Yes,
the
we did.
fairgrounds, correct.
I can tell you folks, I attended 5 of Wisconsin County Association meetings the last 3 weeks down in Stevens Point. And some of these emergency things came up. And when I made the statement that we had a used vehicle Ram Center that was going to be for sale, some of these people on Polk County did really open your eyes. They had more questions.
Yeah, some of these counties, they just didn't get the ARPA money that we were fortunate enough to get. They need some, they want to get something like this and they're hoping to get into a used one.
Yeah, and they've got people that can do some work and do the upgrades. So I think it's gonna be worth more than on our Wisconsin auction. Sheriff, don't you take some vehicles to
Wisconsin surplus auctions,
Wisconsin
absolutely.
surplus? Yeah.
They've been fantastic to work with.
I wouldn't be too surprised we bring 40,000-50,000 on that Wisconsin surplus auction. I mentioned to some folks that I thought that that's probably where we would be at.
Honestly, it's gonna be not if we do it, it's just when we do it.
When we do it.
So thanks for all you people involved, including you, Jill.
And the key to look at that was the quotes, the quotes we got 6 months ago and the price increases continue to go up. So, it's just costing us money.
We're not trying to ask for the top of the line thing here. I mean, they make some quite large ones that, yeah, it would be really cool to have it, but I mean, this is just a basic system to get us by and accomplish.
Pretty much basic county. Any question?
Can I make an open comment to Mr. Watt? I know I'm currently a nobody. I'd be a deputy county clerk.
I asked a question.
Okay, because Mr. Brent Watt, you use our rifle range in Cushing. I'm the current secretary treasurer out there, and we are proud that you use it. And we don't charge you. We never will. The board does not ever want to do that. We send out an email. So if you're open to telling us when you're going to be using that range, we notify our members. And then I love that you put the sign out there too, that the range is currently being used, for the officers. And so we have no problem. We're proud at Cushing Rifle Range that you're out there.
Oh, it's been very nice. Like I say,
Okay.
we've trained there and we also train at Osceola. We've used South Fork for range activities, and we're very lucky to have that. And that's one of the reasons in my decision that I can't justify spending $1 million to finish the range that was started here, because to me, it's not, the cost benefit just isn't there. There's better ways to spend that money.
Appreciate everybody's comments.
Sure. This is for the sheriff and chief deputy, but the day we took a tour to get to the range auction, then you had a new SWAT truck there. I'm just curious, you just got, and I think you just received it, how that's working out. Beautiful truck.
Yeah, it's a 1986 model, I believe, but we were given that for $1 from Goodhue County, Minnesota. And we use that as a crime scene vehicle. And, we also have an ambulance that we were trying to do both crime scene and SWAT. So we were gonna switch up the two. One's gonna be SWAT, one's gonna be, it's just to haul the gear and to have it ready to go so someone can jump in it and go. We have quite a bit of equipment for both instances. For example, the homicide in Luck. The staff was out there throughout the entire night processing that scene. And with that crime scene vehicle, it's just nice. We have all these lights that we've got from the military, these scene lights that, you know, we can fill a truck up with equipment. So it's very beneficial to have that. Goodhue County is kind of a unique county. They get a lot of money from the nuclear plant. And ironically, they were just in the process of getting one of these command centers as well. And they had a pull behind trailer and they said it was just awful to have that because you need a heavy 1-ton truck to pull it. It's hard for one person to even hook the trailer up to get going with it. And, you know, having a vehicle that just sits and doesn't get used a lot is not mechanically good either. So the truck always had some mechanical issues, but ultimately Goodhue County was getting some newer equipment. And I got a tour of their facility and it was kind of nice to see all the equipment. They had a dive trailer for a dive team. They had airboats, jet boats, dual engine river boats. I mean, they really have a big checkbook compared to what the county has. But they were nice enough to let us have that vehicle, and actually Chief Deputy Burrows worked on that. That used to be a Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension crime scene truck. So they were able to give us that for $1, and we had the highway shop go through it, and it's a nice vehicle and it'll serve our needs well.
Basically, the BCA gave it to Goodhue County at free. And so they just wanted to do the same, pass it on, and nobody wanted this because it was 1986 or older model. And so they offered it to us, and we'll take another vehicle just to use it for storage like we did our evidence stuff. That's what we did.
86, you can even have your antique license.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate that update. That's why I like to have
Yep.
comments, and thank you for your work in your Cushing area. Mhm. Okay, Mo, are you all done?
Probably have comments on number 12 if you have questions.
Yeah. We're getting there. ARPA funds relating to public safety and public works. Somebody's gonna cover that. We were just pretty much thorough on that. I think. Nothing else to add. So, yeah, number 12, then you leading that, Mo, your fee schedule and.
Sure. The fee schedule, Don will hand you out for, there's highway, parks, and then recycling. And right now, looking at revenues and cost of permitting, we're keeping all our fees the same as last year. So there's no changes to the fees. Everything's pretty much tracking where they should be as far as revenues with them, with the exception of utility permits is where we always fall behind. But that was, we trimmed those down for broadband and some other utility fees. So that one's set always the same. Parks, same thing. We're keeping our camping ones, the campsites and everything the same as last year, with the hopes of still adding more revenues. We're going to look at the camping fees. Right now, it's first come, first served campsites at Apple River. We're going to change those over to reservation sites. We're working on trying to get something online to help with people just coming there and homeless. We have issues with who's camping there. So we're going to go with reservations online with that one. We're working on those. The recycling fees, again, are staying the same, looking at what's happening. They're in line with the industry and what we're selling. So we see no changes for the recycling fees either.
The totals look like you're somewhere in the 20% ballpark. Does our committee make a motion to approve the fee schedule? Or what do you suggest, madam?
Yep, motion to recommend adoption of proposed fee schedule.
Okay. Give you a minute to look things over and somebody.
You want to do the sheriff's department also?
Yeah, both at the same time?
Yeah, I went both ways.
The sheriff's department, we're increasing some of our fees
I see that.
due to fuel and wage increases. We haven't increased
Yeah,
them.
like I say, it looks like.
I mean, let me go over them or,
No, I don't think so. We all have a copy here. I don't see anything. Nothing stands out to me, but I'm looking for questions.
Is there anything you want to direct our attention to, or is there anything that's outstanding that you think needs any explanation?
so the only thing that basically, we looked at the cost of the wage and get fuel and cost increase of everything. And we haven't increased anything in some of these in over 5 years. So want to do that. We increased back our copy fees for records back up to a quarter or it was. Mostly because we don't charge for that anyways. Everything's electronic. We send out most of our records requests for free anyway. So we really don't fill that out.
Whenever you're ready, I'll ask the pleasure or committee for a motion.
Move we recommend acceptance of the fee schedule.
Both on the sheriff.
On
Can we do them together, Don? Okay, for the fee schedules as presented. Okay, Madam Clerk? Motion by CJ. Seconded by Mr. Rowdy. Any further questions? I have none. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Got that, Madam Clerk? Got the fee schedule done, nothing else. There. Review and update of our 2022 work plan.
I don't think there's any,
Don't have any recommendations in here, Dr. Moby, as far as our work plan. Budget update. Subject matter for the next meeting, I think we're up to that. We have a couple things on the agenda. Council, do you have anything?
the address issue for Vincent
Correct.
Lane. Budget will be on next.
Correct.
I don't know of any other, probably just another update from Mo for those ones that are.
Yeah. You get that, all. Touch all the bases, Madam Clerk. Okay. As far as I know, we've got everything covered. And once again, Sheriff Watt, I know you're working with the department down in Hudson. The idea there was we need to have people in place right now, because once that subject is out of the premise. Okay. Call for adjournment. Supervisor Mo. Second by CJ, all in favor? Aye. Motion agenda.